Hello everyone, this is Joanne, and my voice is still weird from my Florida trip. So if you're wondering why does she sound weird, it's why, but it doesn't hurt, so don't worry. All right, I wanted to show you because I've been promising that I would show you my almost completed Tampa, Florida travel journal. So when I do a travel journal, I usually make the bare bones ahead of time, and then add things if I have time during the trip, and I jot down notes of where we went, where we visited, what kinds of things we did, and then I'll fill some of that in later. But actually this trip I had time in the evenings because we had packed days where we'd go out around Tampa and the beaches surrounding. We're not water people. It was me, my husband, and my son. So we didn't do like swimming, but we went and visited beaches and museums and all kinds of sites all around Tampa. So Clearwater, St. Petersburg. Anyway, you'll see it in the journal. But when I make a journal, I usually put where we went and the dates. And a lot of times I'll put the year. This one, I didn't put the year on it. I may put it up here above these palm trees. This was a wooden shape from Dollar Tree that I just colored with markers and colored pencils. So, and glued it on with wood glue. Glued it on the cover. And then I used washi tape on the seam here. I like to do that sometimes just to cover the thread that I used, a waxed binding thread. And I did Mod Podge over these stickers because the 2 was coming up. I had to dab that with some black ink, black marker. But I like to Mod Podge over those just so it helps to keep those on there. So when people are opening it, looking at it, I'm sharing it with friends and family, it doesn't come apart. So this is some of the seam binding that I crinkled myself. I have a video on seam binding if you're interested. But you can always buy seam binding, crinkled from various Etsy shops. So I will show you. So I took different bags that I had gotten for snacks on We Fly Delta. So I had snack bags and different things that I just collaged onto here and then added some stickers and I added a quote down here and then just the information about each day. So this was the day we left. And says what movies I watched on the airplane, and then what we visited. So the first day we visited the History Center and this restaurant called the Columbia in Tampa, and we went to Ybor City where the restaurant is. And I'll just as I page through, I'll show you. I got this brochure. I often get free ephemera when I'm traveling. Free brochures and whatnot. I mean, I'm like a scavenger. This little image was cut out of a cloth that was in the bathroom at the restaurant. And I just grabbed an extra one and then cut it out later. And this is a Dollar Tree sticker. And yeah, so this is a brochure, like I said. And then I just added a quote on the side. And this is inside the restaurant. I got a postcard. Then I printed out on my little Kodak mini printer here at home. I printed out a picture of our son, me, and my husband. So another thing is that I sent off 100 photos because I had almost that many from my trip, and then I had a few extra ones. I sent those off to be developed from Snapfish. Snapfish allows you, using the app, to develop 100 photos free each month. And so the shipping is about $12 and some change. So it's not completely free, but the prints are free. And Shutterfly has a similar deal. I think Shutterfly is unlimited prints for free, but again, you just pay for the shipping costs. So we visited the Henry B. Plant Museum. These are different items from the museum. These were stickers that they gave us that we had to wear on our shirts to show that we had paid for the ticket entrance fee. This is a brochure. And then we went to the History Center. This was from brochures. Oftentimes in the museums, they want you to buy a membership for the museum. And those brochures have good images of the museums on them. So that's a little tip, because I'm not planning to become a member, but the brochures for that are free. So I oftentimes will grab those and cut them up and use them in my junk journal. Also, visitor centers in the bigger cities always have free, well, not always, but a lot of times have free brochures that you can get for the area, and then you can cut out, the places you visited. So, and then I just add stickers and things. And then what we did, we got this little, this was from Chili's. We went to eat dinner at Chili's, and they gave us this. Well, these were, our silverware was inside these little bags. So I saved a bag. And then we went to the aquarium. So I just cut off an image from the aquarium. So in Tampa. So there. Okay. Slide that back in. This was we ate at P.F. Chang's one night, and this is the napkin from P.F. Chang's, and then this was this Weekend Vibes. We did go there on the weekend, and this is from a fortune cookie, but the Weekend Vibes was from a little flyer about booking P.F. Chang's for events. So I just cut that part off, and then I used the napkin as a little flip, and then I had a picture of us in front of the Henry B. Plant Museum. So, okay. And then again, what we did, and then I put this in here because I had to buy scissors on my trip to use for my junk journaling. I had a little Daiso scissors, but it just wasn't cutting it. So I bought these kids scissors from Target, and we had to go to Target for some bottles of water and things. So I got 2 of these in a pack for like $1 something. I don't remember how much they were. Just the Up and Up brand. But the thing is, Delta Airlines allows, I think it's 2 inches or less blades for your carry-on for scissors. If you have a checked bag, I think you can have scissors in there that are longer length. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Don't blame me if you get arrested. No, I don't think that's an arrest. They'll just remove your scissors. But yeah, so there's that. So I just saved the little tag from the stickers, or from the scissors. We went to the Dolly Museum. This is our receipt from parking. This is our wristband. You know how they put those wristbands on you. And then this was, I had bought a set of playing cards, so I saved the tag from those, sticker tag, and stuck it. Same with the postcard book, and another receipt for entrance fees. And then this is inside the museum. This turned out too dark from my mini printer, and that's actually why I decided to send my other photos off to be printed by Snapfish, because this is way too dark, and on my camera it does not look that dark. So sometimes my mini printer, I feel, prints out too dark, and I don't like that. We ate at this, it was like, well, it says tavern. It was like a bar and grill, and I saved a napkin from there. And this is gift wrap, and I said St. Petersburg, Florida. Found some of these images. Well, not this one. This is a sticker from Dollar Tree. But these images from brochures, travel guides. And this was, St. Petersburg area. This was a nice image of that, I thought. Should make sure I'm in frame here. Dolly Museum Store. And I plan to put, when I get back my printed photos, I will add some here. This is from a brochure. This was a special exhibit that we saw when we were there, so I just put it in here in a clip because I wanted to be able to read the back about the exhibit. And so I just included that, so I didn't want to adhere it to the page. Another Dolly painting from one of the brochures, ledger paper, which, again, I'll put some photos there. Excuse me. I'm going to take a sip of my water. And this was an envelope that I adhered to the page because I'm going to put a bunch of photos in there. Okay, and then, again, what we did that day. And then we went to Clearwater Beach, and this was from a travel guide. Added some stickers, and then this is from something I bought. Picture of me and my son. And then a postcard I bought. And then this is from Dollar Tree. It says, have a magical day. I thought it matched well with this pink from this image, or this page behind. Again, it was not that cloudy or dark. So I do not like how this mini printer is printing these out so dark. And I don't know if any of you have that issue ever. So, yeah. So that's okay, but it's not ideal. This was a guide from our hotel where we stayed and had, you know, the hours of breakfast, all of that, parking, whatnot. And we went to eat at this place in Tampa called World of Beer, which we're not big beer drinkers, but we each sampled a little 5-ounce beer, because they had beers from all over. And this is a postcard I bought. I like the vintage look of that. And then this is a little, you know, I printed these out. These didn't come out too dark, so I don't know. While we were waiting for our food, we played this little categories game where we would go around and each of us would, we would decide which letter we were going to play. And then we would take turns answering the questions. Like you had to think of a fictional character that starts with M, you know, a fruit, and, you know, and on. And we just did the same letter for both sections. And then we did that the same for the letter D. And I just included that because it was fun. And the reason I came up with that is because I noticed that when we would be at dinner or lunch, we would all just pull out our cameras, as you do, and be on those. And so I thought, let's do something fun where we're killing time, and it's, you know, it's just fun to do together. We like games, and so I thought that was nice. This is a sticker I bought in Clearwater, and I want to put photos here and here and here, and so I'll be adding a lot of photos. This was our parking permit for our rental car at the hotel, and I just put that on with a hair clip. Just put it on with a little clip, and again, I'll be putting photos here, here, and here photos. This is a wallpaper, piece of wallpaper. A couple postcards that I bought and adhered to the page. And it's not as easy to find postcards everywhere anymore. Have you noticed that at all? I don't know. I've noticed that traveling now. This was a travel guide, and I cut out the map because we went to Clearwater, and, you know, we went from Tampa to Clearwater, St. Petersburg. We went around the area. So, and this is a Dollar Tree sticker. I showed you the other one in another video that said lucky, and this one says happy. And it did rain almost every day we were there. Not long time periods of rain, but it was real hot and humid. And then in the late afternoon, often it would rain, and that would actually help, you know, release some of the heat. So, yeah. And then I had found a quote. So I had bought a book at Dollar Tree, and I decided just to leave it for the cleaning people at the hotel because I didn't want to bring it home, but it had all these different quotes in it. So I read the book while I only paid $1.25 for the book. I read it while I was in the hotel room in the evenings, and I wrote down some of the quotes that I liked from the book. Like this one says, listen with your eyes as well as your ears, and it's by Graham Speechley. I don't know who he is, but I guess he's a clever guy. But I just included some of those quotes in certain parts of my junk journal just to add something fun. And, you know, it's always nice, I think, to have your own writing a little bit in your journals. You know, people who years from now maybe look at your junk journal, maybe your grandchildren someday or great-grandchildren want to see your writing. I often hear that people are like, oh, I don't like my writing. And I'm like, no, you've got to write a little bit in your own. I just left the back blank for now. If I need more space, maybe I could put a couple photos back there. But for now, I was just leaving it blank. And then I did eyelets. I guess I should have said that. Eyelets on the front and the back covers, and then just tied the crinkled seam binding so that it would stay in place. And then this is just becomes, you know, the closure. And it's not too much of an alligator mouth journal, which means it's not getting too fat yet. But by the time I add all my extra photos that I get, it'll start getting a little chunky. Chunky. So yeah, so that is my Tampa travel journal, and this is typically kind of how I do travel journals. I can show you some more. I think I've shown you a couple already in videos, but I can definitely show you some more if you're interested. And let me know if you often do a scrapbook or a memory book or a junk journal from your travels. I would like to hear if you do that. And if so, do you add photos to them? Do you just write down memories? Do you decorate them up or leave them more plain? I'm just curious, you know, how you like to do that. Or if you just have a lot of photos and just have those on your phone and share those with people. So anyway, that's it. So thank you so much, everyone. Sorry about my weird voice. And I'm hoping one of these days here, it'll be normal again. And it will. I can just feel it's congested from the humidity in Florida. Or, like I said, the plants. So it's just that. And it's just taken a while to get out of my system. And it was hot and humid here in Wisconsin, too, while we were away. So right now it's real rainy. So that's probably not helping. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well. And today is Thursday, so I hope you have a nice weekend coming up. And I will see you again soon. Thank you for all your support. Thank you if you'd be willing to hit a thumbs up on the video. And I would love to read any comments you have. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.